start the video part of the recording.
Hello! Welcome.
Hi!
Hi. Welcome to Fail or Die.
This is a podcast.
This is our video chill podcast. Au natural.
Indeed. Back to our roots, format-wise.
We're changing.
Do we have roots already? Because
no, we don't have any
we're pretty young as a podcast.
You're not young. You're old.
Well, that's
relative, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the discussion, I guess, since it's going to be about something considered for for the youth.
The youth.
Anyway.
Two youths.
I wonder what we're talking about today.
Today's topic is skateboarding. It's May 19th. Back at the old spot. We got some skateboards in the back. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Dudes.
We're old skater dudes.
We're old.
Used to
According
be.
to
We're
normal
weird, strange.
stereotypes. So we have a lot of perspective on skateboarding, considering we started before it was all normalized and then renormalized and renormalized
is it
again.
or is it just stories?
We have stories,
Mm.
but I mean, yeah, we also have perspective. I think because I don't know, it's not like we were so old that we had milk crates with roller skate halves nailed to the bottom. But
I did have my own handmade skateboards at the very beginning. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We made our own skateboards on my street. Where we
out
grew
of
up.
plywood.
Yeah, I mean, plywood, and we even took old school sandpaper, and the sandpaper we would just put glue on the back of it, and glue it to wood, and you got grip tape. You've got something to do. There was this old dude that lived down the street. This is early 80s, and he was driving a car. He was probably 16 then in the 80s, right? And him and his friends were always making these skateboard 2x4, 4x4, whatever, things out of things and rolling them around. It was rad. But
Nice.
They always had roller skate wheels, because they steal roller skate wheels and use the old little roller skate things. They didn't have trucks like they do now.
Mm-hmm.
They looked little tiny, like banana boards. But they were handmade, and I had one. Or one of those guys gave me one. I don't know. I wish I still had that.
How did we come up with the idea to talk about skateboarding today?
Oh, we've been talking about skateboarding so much lately.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I feel like
we
we were in
are
our best shapes when we were
former
skateboarding.
skateboarders.
Yeah. Skateboarding was awesome. When that's all you could think about, skateboarding was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and I kind of
Or all you had
forcibly
to think about.
insisted that we start skateboarding again, even though we're old and we haven't done it in years.
Slowly we will.
Yeah. Colin started putting the pressure on. Even though he doesn't own a skateboard, Matt and I own skateboards.
Multiple skateboards.
He owns a few, I own one. But I had to get one about a year and a half ago. Just to have one, just in case you want to jam here and there. But of all people,
always have a skateboard.
Colin's let's go to the skate park, bro.
Totally. So we did. In fact, I just tweeted a video from the other day, skateboarding at the skate park.
Yep. 2 old dudes and a bunch of little kids, and
Mm-hmm.
we were going hella slow and chill and just taking it easy, trying little things. And
Until Colin smashed his face.
Well, so speaking of little kids,
Well,
do you remember your very first skateboards?
oh yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was a kamikaze skateboard from Costco. At that
Costco?
time, that shit was a Veriflex.
Uh-huh.
So it was
You had a Veriflex kamikaze?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can dig it up.
They had and these other ones were the Executioners. They had another board called the Executioners.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember those?
Yeah, okay.
Those were some of the first real skates that were out that you could buy that were mass production.
Uh-huh.
And that were not destructible right away.
I had a banana board originally, just a plastic piece of shit.
Freeformer.
Yeah, just something to learn how to ride
Actually, you know
on.
what?
And
was my
then I
first
got a
skateboard.
reel for sport.
What?
My first skateboard was the Freeformer.
Freeformer?
Yeah, I had a Freeformer.
All right. So let me see if I can try and find out.
Freeformer.
Yeah. It was wood, and it had grip tape, and down the middle it said Freeformer in grip tape. Mm-hmm. And it was had big red wheels. I remember it had big wheels and had a pointy nose.
Oh!
And it was like old school.
Yeah, I had a shitty banana board like that.
Bro.
And but my first one, like my first real board, especially like an actual pro board, was a Jeff Kendall.
Is this it, dude?
No. That's the other Freeformer.
That's the regular plastic one.
That's the plastic Freeformer.
You can show that to the camera if you're trying to show it to us too.
All right.
So they see what you're talking about. Let's see.
No,
There for a minute. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Yellow plastic banana board.
Freeformer.
That was Matt's first board.
No, that wasn't. So that's the plastic version.
Oh, that was the plastic one. Okay,
yeah,
so...
Yeah.
So I was saying
yours was wood? Yeah. Just like that?
But longer.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was basically just like that. It was the shape like that, yes.
And then yours was?
Jeff Kendall, Santa Cruz.
Really?
Wow, you went up there. See, I had a few boards before I stepped up into a...
I remember I had some shit,
a real board.
Shit wood board, and I don't remember what it was. It was like just wood board with grip tape. Crap, little tail, and that's it. Generic, like came with a stupid rubber nose bone on it or something.
Wow.
Oh,
I found it, dude. I found it.
But, my first real board was a Jeff Kendall. It was sick.
You're going to love this, dude.
That was my first skateboard right there. That's it right there.
That's cool.
The cut out grip tape.
Yeah. It's a Freeformer right down the middle.
Tell me when I get it right.
Keep going closer. Keep going right there. Chill. Yeah, there it is.
That wood one.
Kind of out of focus, but there it is.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah. So, old school, those were shitty. You couldn't do any tricks. You could just kind of cruise.
Totally.
You couldn't really ollie on that shit.
No.
And we didn't even probably know how when we were.
It was just like
around.
Cruising, going fast, and like going up and down hills and little like banks.
My first
sidewalk surfing
was a GT. It was a GT Coyote 3.
Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, and
was it made in Japan?
It looked like that red one.
That is goofy.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah, trip. I remember seeing those. Plastic, bigger, not a banana board.
So it's that red one.
That's good.
3 pictures.
Yep. That's perfect.
That was my first board. So you had a Santa Cruz Jeff Kendall?
Yeah.
And then some junky thing before that you don't remember what it was?
Right. I had like some Gemco ass bullshit.
Gemco?
Yeah. Gemco was pre-Target.
If anyone remembers what Gemco is, you're like old school.
Yeah, we were skating in Mountain View, California.
That one, the white one?
Los Altos, California. Yeah, the white graffiti.
Okay.
Sick thing. So I'm on Facebook and I'm on this old school.
I had that same board.
I'm on this old school, Facebook group, and it's like old school skateboards. Yeah,
I had
whatever.
that same board.
And this guy's like, "Hey, I have all these skateboards for sale. You want to buy one?" And there's the white Jeff Kendall right in the center. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I messaged him like, "Hey, I'm broke, but what would you be asking for something like that?" And he's like, "Well, if these are new, they're like $2,500, in the package.
Wow.
Like I might sell this for $1,500.
Wow.
Just for the deck.
I wish I had held on to my old decks.
So if any of you have old skate decks, dude,
go
check before you get rid of them.
Yeah. Get those ones wrapped in plastic out.
Stupid fools will buy that.
Remember?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if someone handed me that right now, I would rip the plastic off it, set it up, and skate it. It'd be too much fun not to.
Yeah.
You can't not skate something like that. That's what it's for.
So then my next board I got was that.
Huh. I remember those.
Oh, dude, I had a Madrid.
Madrid.
Well, I didn't have one.
I remember
one of the neighbor's kids left it at my house, and then I had one.
I got it for like $22.50, and then I didn't have any money left for grip tape, and so I pillaged old skateboards for the parts, and I ended up with one of the trucks for my front truck from that red plastic board that I had.
Mm-hmm.
An independent 215, and I had 2 green. Crap, I can't remember what they were. They were like OJs or something. They
So
were
totally
green OJs.
mismatching.
Like first generation ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the back ones
Different
were like
size.
original Road Riders.
Okay.
Wow.
Weird.
So it looked like a dragster.
That's
Wow.
funny.
And I rode the living crap out of that thing.
Yep. Plastic rails.
No
Something like
rails,
that.
no grip tape.
Well, I'm thinking about this is like still early though, because
At
we haven't
default.
gotten even those part of boards yet. Because I still have the Freeformer, the Executioner, the Kamikazes, and there were all kinds of boards that came out. And
Yeah,
then,
so what did you get next?
I don't know. I had a slew of boards.
After the Freeformer.
Do you remember having a Nash?
Wow.
Yeah, like a
Oh,
Nash.
I had a Nash. That was my
Yeah.
shit board.
Yeah.
That was my shit board, a
Yeah.
Nash. And the wheels and the bearings were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They were like super.
It was the Nash Executioner.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
That's what
yeah.
they were.
Nash,
yeah, look
dude.
at some of these pictures.
I totally
man.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That was the shit.
We grew up on the same street.
gotta show
when we were
that.
kids, you
Alright.
and me, Paige. We were on the same street.
Yeah.
And I remember
So once
a
in,
lot
you know-
of the kids that lived around us had all those boards too.
Yep, that looks great right there. Yeah, Nash, dude. Once you get one, it's kind of like wildfire. Your neighbor
Yeah.
wants it, and then the kid down the street, and then you're all, oh, dude, I got the
I remember
latest
the
and
Nash
greatest,
boards.
whatever. And
Oh,
you'd always be
here we
borrowing
go.
boards.
Here we go. Here we go.
You'd always be borrowing
You guys are in
people's
trouble.
boards.
Yeah.
There it
What
is,
is that?
the
Oh, the
Executioner.
Executioner.
Yeah, that's the board. I had that thing. You gotta hold it there for a second. Get closer.
There you go.
Let's stop for a second though.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. Yeah.
it,
Close
it
enough.
looked like a
Closet.
fingerboard.
That's rad.
Yeah.
But those Executioner boards were super cool.
But remember, you'd always like lend your board and borrow other people's boards, and I remember I'd have a couple different people's boards all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is so and so's. It's all fucked up. You left it here.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, dude, it was always like the Nash or the whatever.
Yeah.
That was
You're
the
like, you
bar
can ride
board.
this one, man.
Yeah, nobody cared.
It
This
was
is the
like, it was
janky
like a
one.
moped.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
totally.
what they say about mopeds.
Yeah.
I had a moped.
What do they say?
They're fun
Nothing.
to ride when no one's
Until
looking.
I disagree. That shit was awesome to ride until a fat guy rode it.
Dude, my dad had two mopeds, two Honda
Yeah,
pedal mopeds.
I had a fat guy, and you know who you are out there if you know me still. You broke my moped, asshole.
Okay.
I was really pissed. It was on
Poor
a skating.
mopeds.
No, but it was like on a skating session. That's how I equated to skating. Because I used to take the thing everywhere. It was way before you could get a.
Wait, you would ride your moped to go where you go skate?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it was the only way to get around before you could. It was before you could ride that for a learner's permit. So I was 14. You know, and I was riding around my moped, like cruising around Mountain View and like shit, and
That's
go anywhere you wanted to go, like on your little moped. But then my buddy, you know who you fucking are. I'm not gonna say your name.
Broke his moped, you
Broke my
fucking
moped,
bastard.
dude. I told him he's a big fat guy, and I told him not to ride my moped, and then he took this jump on my moped and bottomed it out when the thing never worked again.
Oh, that sucks.
So pissed. I had to walk home that day. I was really pissed because I fucking rode that thing pretty
Oh
far.
my god.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed. I remember that day. Hey, skateboarding. That was all about skateboarding. I mean,
Yeah.
that moped got me to so many rad skate spots.
Mm-hmm.
Skate spots.
Let's talk
Speaking
about
of skate
yeah,
spots.
I was gonna say,
What was
skate
the
spots.
first major skate spot for you?
No, not major, but let's just talk about the skate spots.
All right.
Because we all come from the same area, and we
Alright.
know, like, the cool skate spots. I mean,
So we're local to like San Francisco Bay Area.
yeah.
So we live on the south end,
Northern
San
Northern
Jose
California,
area,
like,
right?
yeah, Santa Cruz, San Francisco.
And one of the
San Jose.
deep underground ones that might be recognizable as a street spot for a lot of people is the Wave.
Yeah.
Oh, the Wave.
Or-
The
I
Wave in
used to go to the
Sunnyvale.
Wave.
Some people called it Libby's.
No, it's the Wave in Sunnyvale,
I
yeah.
understand.
It's still there.
Now we
Still
have to
there.
give a time
Still
frame
there.
for people that
Oh, we're
have
talking
no
about-
idea what we're talking about.
Old school, like rails and copers and nose bones, and before there were like kicked up noses, it was a spot, like a hip spot. Like
Yeah, no, but it was a
Even
hip
before
spot
that.
in the 90s and then after because
well, later on, yeah.
when I was
too,
really
but-
skating, I still went there and there were always people at the Wave, like
Mhm.
skating on it. You always had to wait your turn on the wall.
But for me, since I came from way on the other side of town, my skate spot was Fishbanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember Fishbanks, yes. I used to skate to Fishbanks from my parents' house.
In South.
Fucking freaking far.
Now describe what Fishbanks.
Yeah.
But so
looked
Fishbanks
like.
was formerly a fountain.
Was it a playground?
It was a playground fountain.
Yeah.
Right.
Located where?
In Sunnyvale, California.
Fair Oaks? No, it was
Mary and
Remington.
Remington.
Yeah, there it was.
Essentially, like a block away from
There's
there.
a little park. The park itself is still there.
Yeah, park is there.
And the big circle.
The area
the
where it
flatland
existed
circle is still there, too.
there.
The stage.
Yeah.
That shit's all there.
Yeah. So in the parking lot, in fact, there's a horseshoe, like a roundabout kind of thing, a turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And that round curve in the center, there's a bunch of dirt and a tree, and that curve is still dug out, and you can still skate it.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, it's still sick. And those little low-lying curbs around the handicap entrance are still skatable.
People still have to skate there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure that spot's never going to go away because there were too many other cool things there to skate.
The point was, the reason why it's called Fishbanks was it's a fountain that used to have like giant sprinklers in the tops of these big
that were fish.
Purple concrete mounds that had like fish and weird carvings in them all over it.
Yeah.
Like the big one had a big sun carved in it, so it was called the Sun Wall.
Yeah.
Right? And it had been drained and like disused as a fountain for years and years.
It became a skate park.
And became like an impromptu skate park. People would just hit the banks and the lumps as you know.
I remember that was a good skate spot. That was a really good skate spot.
Definitely.
Fishbanks is cool. And they tore that place down. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Fishbanks is gone. No more. That sucks.
If you want to see what it looked like, a friend of mine, Ches, has a video of him from back in the day on his YouTube, and I can link it in the description.
All right. Put that on the thing.
So I wanted to mention the wave. The
the
wave
wave. Go about the
was
wave.
super sick.
Yep, super
and that
sick.
was in Sunnyvale, bordering Mountain View.
It was.
It's underneath
Matilda.
Right underneath a bridge.
Right now, it's underneath the new overpass thing.
It's underneath Matilda at the train
Matilda
tracks.
and Evelyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evelyn.
So Evelyn and Matilda, and what it was, if you can imagine an overpass and a sidewalk, and maybe almost like a parking lot underneath an overpass, and a very big, steep, probably 35-degree, steep, just one flat bank all the way up to the top of the bridge.
And it's like, what?
And it was a good 30
feet, 20 feet?
Like angle,
18,
but
20
maybe
feet,
18 feet in the air. So, you get up there and it's pretty sketchy. It had that little flat spot at the very top.
Totally.
So you could like hang out and,
you can go all the way to the top. Yeah,
I would just sit there and watch everybody, and stuff. But
you could also like drop into it, which was really scary.
Yeah.
That was scary because the last moment, because the way the wall hit it, the wall wasn't like transitioned right, so you had to like almost pop on it. So you had to like ollie off the last little bit of it.
That was the interesting thing. Was that right at the bottom of the wave?
Yeah, let me see something.
Right where it transitions into the ground, there was a sidewalk essentially that went across the whole face of it. So there was like 2 squares wide. Of squares all the way across in front of it, and so you had to contend with those little, blips in your smoothness.
It was weird.
What are you up to there, dude?
I'm doing a quick search to see images of the wave.
Oh, okay.
And then I was just gonna pull them up, but unfortunately, that is it, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, let's see this. Let's see. Flickr has removed and replaced this image. Scroll down for more sizes. All right. Let me touch it. There it is.
That's
Make
the
it
wave.
even bigger.
Hell yeah.
All right. So now, folks out there in internet land, let's switch over so you can see what I'm talking about. I know it looks a little trippy right now. Okay. Here's the wave. So this was a big bank. Oh yeah, in my memory it was so much bigger, but look at that. In reality it's probably, I don't know, 13, 14 feet high.
Yeah.
So here's a skater just up there doing an ollie, and that's maybe he's holding a camera too in his hand.
Yeah, he's probably got a flash in his hand, or there's probably flash up on the wall in the background.
No, that's
maybe.
probably just the light.
There might be a lamp out in the background through the crack there.
Yeah, interesting. So you'll see, like, it's a nice angled, it just looks like a wave. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. Yep. right here you could rail slide all the way
God.
down. This was hella sketchy. I hit that a couple times and I never wanted to do it again because I didn't want to bail.
That one's still there.
That one's still there.
But yeah, that's a great photo.
And then you remember the Sunnyvale Mall, the old Sunnyvale Mall there across the street you could skate in? Remember the underground?
Yeah, I remember the... there was lots of like curbs and like manual...
Yeah, it was all manual
and,
curbs and lip slide curbs.
Yeah.
So it was great if you were a little kid because you could just skate up and down it.
Oh,
You didn't have to do any
By the way,
tricks.
that shopping mall today is still really cool to skate.
Yeah.
That whole Target area. There's
Except
all kinds of rad like banks and
they don't
cool
like you doing it
staircases.
as much as they...
Yeah, who gives a shit? Don't listen to the fucking law. That's dumb. It's just dumb. Don't do it. Just do what you want to do. If you're going to be a skateboarder and you're going to break the law, take your ticket like a man like the rest of us did. Because I got all kinds of tickets for skateboarding. Happily. Because knowing that I was doing the right thing because there was nothing wrong with it. And nowadays, you guys got it really easy. I'm sorry. It's just too easy for skateboarders now. We used to get chased everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
We used to take down signs. I
remember you always had that one asshole or those two assholes in your crew that anywhere you went and there was a security guard, they would totally fuck with them.
Tom.
They would just totally like skate up and they were really fast on their boards, so they'd run up, just say whatever, try to antagonize the guy and then skate off, and you're just sitting there going, dude, we look like assholes. What are you doing? And we would hold our boards and walk or whatever. Because they would take your board.
Totally.
They would straight
or
up
they
take
would
your
try
board.
to, unless you were going to fight with them.
Right now.
What are you looking up, Colin?
I'm going to show you guys some Fishbanks. Can we put it on the screen for them?
All right, guys, get ready to trip out again for second. Whoa, it's Trippy Land.
Why does it do that? Can't you just stop it from doing that?
No, unfortunately, we're capturing the whole screen. And
that's
it's
just boo-boo.
Feedback. Can you make sure to mute it so they don't get blasted with sound? It's right there.
That's okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's alright, I suppose.
Yeah, at least
but we can talk about what we're looking at. So this is the sun wall. Can they see this?
I want to hear the wall. I want to hear the song.
They can't see this?
Yeah, they can see what we're seeing right now.
They can see this right now. Okay, so this is my friend Ches on the sun wall.
I remember the sun wall. Holy crap.
1990, apparently.
Wow.
I'm just going to drop in off that.
Wow. I remember that stuff.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my god, it's so harsh.
Oh yeah, dude. It's not meant to skate.
Bam.
No, it's not meant to skate.
Shit was not meant to skate.
That was just like a challenge.
Yeah.
Look at this, Fishbanks.
It's an art piece, just like a challenge.
Look at his Fishbanks.
There you go, man. So this is what it was all about back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is not our video. This is someone else's video on YouTube.
This is
but we can't.
Golden Productions. I believe this is Chud filming, and this is my friend Sanchez.
So we don't want to put too much of this on here. We're just doing it for review.
Yeah, right. That's the spot.
That's the spot. That's what it looks like.
Oh wow, I remember that place.
Right, I
spent a lot of time skating in there.
That's so cool.
There you go, guys.
I stopped going there only when they built Greer.
Oh wow!
And I started going to Greer Park because the transitions were smoother, and it was kind of at the same time. It was just a better park. It was just better. And at the beginning of Greer, it was more fun than I'm sure Greer got lame after a while.
Yeah, in our day, it was a crime. It literally was, and
it was a crime to skateboard.
You would get tickets, or you would have your board taken away.
Totally.
Even if you were just in a downtown area, just jamming around, using it for transportation.
Dude, call it out, Mountain View, downtown Mountain View. You were one of the worst people to skateboarders. There were like 3 skate shops, and up and down it were skateboarders, and there were cops everywhere, and they used it as revenue. They gave us tickets constantly. They took our skateboards. I remember having 2 skateboards that I was waiting for and went out to buy another skateboard, knowing that it would probably get taken away from me eventually, so that I could get my other 2 back, and we would have revolving skateboards because you'd get them back. They would give them back to you after like a month or something. You could go collect your skateboard. Remember that? You get these tickets and you can go collect your skateboard after a month. And you're like, are you kidding? And you go and get your board.
There's a quick view of Greer.
Yeah, that was it.
In Palo Alto, right?
That was the shit.
Greer was the shit.
Yeah, and what we're not seeing, this is the tiny bowl.
This is the small side of the bowl.
And then there's the middle one with the island.
Yep.
And then back in the back,
one.
you have a big deep one.
Big deep one in the end. Yeah.
Yep, that was the sketchy one to drop in on.
That was like that's an awesome skate park too.
So right in
It's
between,
well built.
right here and right over here is
Super verty.
almost like a mini ramp.
Yeah.
You could ride that back and forth.
Getting up
a
on
couple
that island, I
times.
remember was like
whoosh whoosh.
it was like a big
challenge.
deal. It was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal getting up on that. flat
Getting
place.
up on it from this end over here
Yeah.
is the top
And
part.
let me see it real quick. So
Go ahead.
right here was this great little hip.
Yeah.
So you'd go through this way, come all the way back, go up, down, and right here,
Boom.
bam,
Yeah.
we would put
Into the
a
big
garbage can right here.
Yeah.
Or stack up decks, like,
That's
4,
right.
5, 6 decks high.
And fly over 'em.
And my buddy would just ollie all the way over. It's insane. Or
Do you
pull
remember
a
what's his
grab
name?
right there.
Well, we won't say his name out loud, but I remember late
And-
Shevitz over trash cans in that place.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I think you were there too. I think you were there the day that I saw that.
And this was killer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This little
Jumping over that.
Foomp.
Yeah.
That was rad. And it had a nice curve all the way around here. Just
Mm-hmm.
nice. You could drop in almost anywhere or roll in.
Yep.
I did a big piece right here, and it was a devil Spock.
What?
So it was Spock with devil ears, and it
Oh, I
was
did-
huge.
I did some of my first graffiti.
And then
was
some
in
kids
that
wrote
place.
like dick, penis, vagina,
Alright.
fuck you over it.
But anyway, that was a cool, fun spot.
Yeah,
I
Greer Park
remember.
was in Palo Alto, borderline Mountain View.
Still there.
And yeah, it was one of the very first skate parks around, especially in that area.
Community.
And then later, a few years later, there was like the San Jose skate park.
Yeah, and they tried to. I remember for a while they tried to make it so that only Palo Alto residents could use it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, so you would
And
always
then-
have to find a friend. Or,
Yeah, but then there was such an upheaval of people who wanted to use it, so they like opened it to the public because they thought that was stupid.
Yeah, and remember they had a guy they hired
Yeah, they had a guy that worked there.
Oh, yeah.
full time.
full
Yeah.
time.
And a few of them, they
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember them. Because you would try to smoke cigarettes in there and you'd bribe them and stuff.
Yeah, remember
You
those
know,
guys?
He was cool to certain
They
people,
had like
and
the
he
skate
was
park attendant.
Yeah.
I
He
remember
looked like
I
security
wrote
guard.
I wrote a email to the Palo Alto Daily News, and I was like, yeah, there was some vote about the city council wanted to ban stunt skateboarding, right? And I was like,
Stunt.
I'm sure the city council would love to see us all, pushing around in circles with safety colored uniforms on, but that's just like not going to happen. You can't take stunt out of skateboarding. It doesn't jive. That's not
I
a
remember
thing.
that.
Like you can't. If you did, it wouldn't be
what it is.
anything anymore. It wouldn't. Yeah.
What about
Right
Stanford?
on.
Just end, and they printed it, and that was
No
pretty
way.
stoked, yeah.
That's rad.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What about Stanford? You guys remember Stanford?
Stanford, yeah.
was the
Yeah.
shit.
The
Yeah, that was
handrails
always a
and the-
long trek.
Yeah.
Oh, also Palo
To
Alto
get
train
there.
station.
You take the 22, and then you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
off of the
yeah.
22.
Down El
right?
Camino.
Down El Camino, all the way down to Palo Alto. And you get to the train station, and you can skate the train station on both sides of it, remember? Because you could skate the inside of the train station,
Mhm.
and then if you went down onto the other side, there was that long down curve that went down. You remember that one? That's where I ended my skateboarding career, was on that curve.
That was my
Well,
favorite ship for
oh,
a while.
That almost killed me.
We'll
I
get
almost
into that.
died. Yeah, we'll get there
Grinding
later.
it.
I almost died on that curve.
Well, we can get into that now. So
No, that was a terrible. Well, I guess
Get
while
into
we're
that.
on it,
So-
we're on it.
that's what ended your career.
That's what ended like my whole skateboarding career.
Oh,
was,
so since we were at
was that
spots,
spot.
let me just show you real quick, because you guys were in a little bit offset generation from mine, right? Because I showed you my first, and that wasn't quite like your guys, right? Like it took like a couple of years till like we evened out, but then I had one of these, and I know you recognize this.
Oh, Rob Roscott. Yeah,
Oh, totally.
I had the big eyeball.
I rode this board until the nose was gone all the way to the front of the front
yeah.
truck.
I remember
had
riding
about-
boards like that.
Yeah.
I
I
had
was gonna
about an
say,
inch and
till
a
they, like,
quarter
cut
of
apart.
tail, like left. It was just so smashed.
So
Just
you
not
would
knowing
go
anything.
through skateboards like crazy because you would just smash them and
Yeah,
ruin them, and
yeah.
you always knew that one guy, or you were that one guy that had that big chunk missing right out the front.
I have a
and you
brand
had
new
some-
board.
Yeah, you had some death looking wood sticking out.
I remember.
And
those, like,
speaking
the
of which, we
shardy
got to talk
board.
about death bolts. Were a
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Death
Hey, you
bolts.
gotta
I
get
was
up-
so into death bolts.
You got to
'cause
get up and display your
Uh,
death bolt nipple
I
scars.
can. I don't think anybody wants to see it.
Death bolts.
I have to find them.
You have to explain how they migrated.
Explain
at least.
what death
Explain
bolts
how
are.
you got them.
All right,
Explain
so
what they
I'm just
are.
gonna show. So like normal skateboard right here, but these are some humongous wheels. This is retarded. This is for
We're
soft riding like crazy.
You're talking about before, in the days before, there were these kicked up noses and long noses.
Yeah, in the 80s and late 80s, we were skating on boards that really had a small nose in the front and a little wide tail in the back. And it was all about tail sliding and having a lot of surface area right there. And eventually they evolved and they would stick up a little more and, blah, blah, blah. You probably know what I'm talking about. And they would evolve into an equal tail board like this. So, but when we were skating, it's so easy to ruin the front end because it was just a little dinky nose, and some were real pointy like a shark.
Well, and we were always doing stupid crap like putting jump ramps up against walls and doing wall rides, and they were so high, it was so easy that you would end up like just falling 100 miles down into the ground with the front of your board. And
but my point of the small nose is so it was harder to ollie because you didn't have enough to grab onto. So when you ollie now, you can hit this and it's a lot easier. So as you're learning or as a little aid or a crutch, we would take the two bolts right here and invert them so they're sticking out, and you could have them
show
stick
them
out.
the bottom so that they know, like...
Yeah, so these two little bolts, we would just flip these out. Anyway, and we would have those on the opposite side sticking on the top of the wood deck. So...
That's retarded.
When you ollie, it would hit your foot.
That's retarded.
Yeah, when you ollie, it would hit your foot.
We can't say it like that anymore.
And it would help you, get more air. And
so with the U-bolts, remember U-bolts?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't use U-bolts upside down, but...
No, but you could, like...
They did provide a little bit more grip as
a
little drag up.
Bit.
Yeah.
But I would have some that were like a half inch, up to maybe 3/4 of an inch sticking out. And I fucking stabbed them right. Oh, my God.
Tell them how you did it.
So we built a half pipe. So you'd always be building ramps with your friends, and it would be at your buddy's house, or you drag the fucking ramp from house to house and shit like that. Or find somebody that had a truck or a car, but I didn't know anyone. So we would drag them around or skate them around.
Yeah.
And we built a shitty one, like out of like cardboard and wood, like stupid shit. Anyway, we would go up this little quarter pipe, and it was probably about 4 feet off the ground. No vert, but it was pretty big, for us. And probably like, 3 people wide, width. And I went up on my knees. I'm just sitting down on the board like this on the ground and going up because I wasn't going to like try to fly off it. I wasn't crazy like most of my friends. And my goal was to go up, lock my trucks over on the top, and then just come back down fakey just backwards. Just sitting on my knees on the deck. And I go up, I latch on like my plan, I pull off, and it goes so fast that I go whoomp. Basically what you did the other day. But the death bolts just stuck right into next to my nipple and right 2 inches further. So I had these 2 little scars, and it stuck in there. It was
2
nasty.
little tiny round puncture holes.
2 white puncture holes right here. And
Wow.
over the years, I was probably like 14 when that happened. And over the years, it's traveled up,
That's
up,
ridiculous.
and it's like up here on the top of my chest now or something.
That's super ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, so I literally almost, death bolts screwed me over.
Death bolts.
They were silly.
Those. I remember death bolts. They were crazy.
But where did you end your...
Oh, yeah. What was at Palo Alto train station?
Okay, so it was a double set of stairs with a set of stairs and landing and a set of steps, and on either side were big concrete curbs.
Correct.
And it was like 1.5 inches or 2 inches high at the beginning, and then it's at the very end. It was
bigger.
like 2.5 feet off the ground.
Yeah,
so
it got bigger and bigger as you
go down, you go flat, you go down,
like
and then
this.
you get a nice drop at the end.
It got like this. It like raised out.
Yeah. So, it made you feel extra powerful.
Yeah, but you started small.
You start like a
small,
chimp,
but you you come off this big, end. And I was doing no slide to grind, and I had been doing them, and I had been on it, and I was like trying to get faster with them, because you would just go slow and then you know, just pop on and slide down. And it would create so much speed because they were like, it was steep. It was a real steep thing.
Well, that was the thing. It was like a nose slide you could regulate because you could hang your heel off and slide slower.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you were grinding, you were going down the thing.
So I go down on the nose and I go down, you know, so I'm going front down and I'm going down and I go up to hit the grind and it just slides from underneath me, right? And I'm about where it kinks down for the first time,
right?
And it just stops, like the board just stops on me, and I'm done for it. I go down the you know, the whole thing, and I roll down it, and then I roll all the way down it and roll off the stairs, you know, into like basically because the street's right there.
You fell on the inside?
Yeah, no, because I went off the thing into the stairs, and you know how the street is, I don't know, like 6 feet.
Yeah.
From where, you know, you end, and it's busy traffic going on right there.
Right.
So I, like, roll into that and almost roll into traffic and stop. My board goes into traffic, you know, because it comes down the thing, gets hit by a car, and I'm laying there like, I can't fucking move. Like, I'm so hurt, you know. Like, it was, like, the worst fall. Because, like, my back hurt, like, I had a huge bruise on my spine. Like, my elbow was all fucked up. I mean, and that was it. I was already 20 at that point in my life,
and
you know?
nobody had insurance.
Nobody had insurance, and like if you're getting that hurt, you know, I was like, you know, I can't get this hurt.
You're done.
I was done. You know, that was it. I was about 20, so I made it from I started skateboarding. I was about 7 when I remember first really skateboarding, and then until about 20.
Nice.
Yeah, but then I still skate. You know, I mean, I never stopped, but not like that.
I was probably like 10 or 11, 12, somewhere in there, you know.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't stop when I had like my first major injury. I did that.
Well, I didn't. That was my first. That was just the worst. That one hurt so bad. That was scary because you saw death. Mm-hmm. Like I could have broken my neck on those stairs. You know, I wasn't wearing a helmet. There was so much wrong with that bail.
I chose not to do the big crazy shit. I would let my friends fucking attempt it. Great, go ahead. You know, if you survive, I might consider it.
Right.
But yeah, most of the shit I would just let them do, and I would do the mediocre.
For sure.
So you guys remember when handrails started?
Oh yeah.
Right? It was about the time, like a little before.
Feel the difference.
I hated handrails.
We were doing the Palo Alto thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then, do you remember cheaters doing caveman handrails?
No.
Oh
yeah, caveman handrails. Yeah, I did those.
Caveman wall ride.
Oh yeah. We used to do those in Cambodia all the time. The caveman handrail where you would run off the top of the stairs. Yeah, and you just like go for the and you jump on it.
Oh yeah.
And slide
without
down
skating. Yeah. You just run up and do it.
Run up and do it. Yeah.
So
it's the caveman.
I did that at Fremont High School.
I remember. I know exactly where you're doing it. Right. Yeah.
So
across the street from the old Sessions.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's since we've been consistent. That's Fremont and Mary again.
Sunnyvale, Saratoga,
and Fremont.
Yeah.
So it's further down from where Fishbanks was.
Right. Yeah. So I hit the handrail at the office, the outside of the office, and I landed with my foot like halfway off my tail, and because I hit hard enough at the bottom, my foot slipped off, and so my board just went away from me and turned right really hard and just wrenched my knee out.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst.
So I tore cartilage in my knee and had to have surgery. So they go in with like a little camera and a lamp and a grabber guy and a cutter guy and like do it on video and cut it out of there and fix my knee. But they pumped it up like it was 3 times the size, full of fluid.
Yeah.
And like you have to like move your knee and pump the fluid around to make it go away.
Ugh.
You have to like absorb it into your body.
For being weird.
So mine, it was right behind Tower Records, the bank.
Oh yeah.
What was that bank called? It's still there.
Wait. Behind Tower Records?
Yeah.
No.
Bank of the West.
No. Bank of the West was downtown Los Altos.
It's still a bank building. I don't know what bank it is.
Yeah.
It's some bank.
It's not Bank of America.
Yeah, that's where one of my
maybe it's a Wells Fargo. I think it's a Wells Fargo.
Anyway.
But anyway, it's the bank behind what used to be Tower Records.
Exactly what you're talking about.
On San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it had these steps and stairs, you know, and they went up in certain sections, like 5 or 4 down to 3.
Yeah, it was like 5 and 3.
Yeah, they gradually, like, because the road angled or something, they just got bigger and bigger. And they were probably about 1 foot wide, big fat, steps. and I'm up on like the third one, I believe, and I'm just sitting there, had just ollied up. I could ollie really high and far, so I would go to the fourth or the third, usually depending on my speed, and I would stop, and I'm now on the curb, 50-50 on my trucks, and I'm thinking about just doing a simple 180 ollie to get back off the steps, right? So just a little ninja. Nice little ninja 180 turn, you know what I mean?
I know exactly where you are too,
right?
So, yeah.
And so I do that, but my front foot comes down so hard and first, and like on the nose of the board, not like the wheels or anything, that I slam my ankle and I see the underside of my foot. Like I literally see my foot go,
ow!
And in that moment, no, I'm not with anyone. I'm just by myself, like fucking around. My friend's already left or whatever.
Oh shit!
And then I just let out a scream like I never have. I've never felt pain like that. It was so close to breaking, and I probably should have gotten a cast anyway, but I never did. But I sprained it really bad.
Yeah.
And I could not walk, let alone, at the time I had a car, so I was probably about 17, maybe even 18 when this happened. And I couldn't drive for about 2 months. I couldn't walk for 3 months.
Yeah, I know.
I was on crutches for a month and a half.
You were in high school when that happened.
I was in like senior year, I
think I remember you doing that.
And I fucked myself up. And I had a stick shift.
I remember him being fucked up from a skate trick.
Yeah.
Because you drove the truck.
It was for a while.
You were driving your black truck.
No. This was, I had the GTI.
GTI?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a stick, and I remember, like, we went to Santa Cruz, and someone was going to drive, then they got too drunk, and nobody else could drive a stick, so we couldn't come back. Wow. It was terrible. But yeah, that was the place, and I was by myself, and I'm freaking out, screaming, and I don't think anybody came.
Yeah, no, that place is so kind of weirdly remote.
Yeah.
No,
it's like right on a main street and not... it's inaccessibly...
Cars are driving by. There's not very many pedestrians, and it was right near Bay City and Tower, but everything, it was like probably 6 at night or something.
Bay City, it's not even there anymore.
I know.
None of these places are here anymore.
Yeah. This was relics of the past.
But that bank is still there.
Now they have members on Facebook dedicated to it.
That bank is now that bank is now a
still
carpet
a bank
spot.
No, it's still a bank.
It's a carpet spot.
I just saw it the other day.
Okay.
It said Bank of the whatever, and I don't remember.
Another one.
But keep going. Because we're not done with that spot. Because like where you were right there had that great gap.
And they also had a nice handrail.
Yeah. Do you remember the gap?
Uh-huh.
Remember like where the ATM machine was, where you would go and then you'd
have to cut through to get speed.
Yeah, you had to cut through to get speed, and you could like ollie that giant like fucking gap.
Yeah,
dude,
gaps were the shit.
That was like one of my crowning fucking achievements was doing that gap.
Yeah.
That was a big gap. Those were big gaps. We just had to go fast enough, really.
But I'm gonna get back to my pain.
Oh yeah.
So I'm laying there and no one's coming, and I can see my shit's swelling up. Like I thought I broke it. That's how bad it felt. And my skateboard, I could barely get it. So I'm hobbling on one foot. And you're doing the hobble 1 foot home. There's no I didn't have a cell phone or anything back then, and maybe I probably had a beeper or a pager.
Oh no, we all had pagers.
But that hurt, and that was my kicker. And by then I was driving, and a lot of other things had priority in my life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I made it all the way to 20.
Girls were probably the hey, I can actually put people in this thing and drive it around like a skateboard.
Yeah, no, I pretty much skated until I really started playing music and had something else to fill that void of time. You did things. I don't know. I think that's what happened for me.
Yeah, so we went skating the other day. It was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks to this guy pressuring. And he pushed it to the limit.
Yeah, I bashed my chin really
good. Right.
Should I try and get it up there on camera?
No, they won't see it. You can try. I mean, yeah. Anyway, they'll see a little bloody mark. Keep going forward. All right, stop. It's hella gross looking. Yeah, look at all that blood. Anyway, it was open. It was a nice gash, about 1 inch long, and it was gushing. It
was dripping like drip, 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 drip.
He slammed on his chest and his head and his chin on the angled
see
part
my
of the
knees.
bowl.
Like I have like skeleton style knobby knees, and they're just like pretty much every surface on my knees that you could abrase is abrased.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You hurt your knees pretty bad too?
Well, like everything, like both elbows, both shoulders, my chest, my chin, my knees. Yeah.
Ugh.
It was like a full-on
Painful.
slappity disco.
Damn.
I got a chunk out of my hand from the fence, but going like this too fast.
So what I did was...
Oh, and if you're watching, we'll post some of these videos on our
We
YouTube
don't
channel.
have a video of the actual slam,
Nope.
but I put one up that's
We have aftermath blood.
reminiscent of what I was
We'll
doing.
do old guy
around.
skateboarding videos soon.
So I was doing a blunt to fakie rock and roll, and I nailed the blunt, and I landed the fakie or the rock and roll, and it just didn't hang on to the rock and roll long enough. I just zapped it right back under the coping, and the next thing I know, the board was like going away from me, behind me, and I was like, clang, bouncing my head off the ground.
It happened so fast.
Yeah, zap.
Just. And then he looked up, and I went, "Hey, are you okay?"
And I went, "I don't know."
He said, "I will be in a minute. Just give me a minute."
Yeah.
You know, breath knocked out, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets out of the bowl and sits down, and like thinking man, crouching, one leg, looking down, and then drip, drip. He's like, "Why am I dripping?"
Bleeding all over the place.
And what did we do after that?
Well, I rang my head like a bell, right? And so, not exactly thinking clearly. So, when the first big drop of blood comes out, I'm like, gosh, that's an awful large spot of blood for just a small abrasion on my chin. Like, I only scratched it, so how could it possibly be bleeding so much? This is ridiculous. And then it was like drip again, and I was like, now that's another big drop of blood, considering I've just barely scratched my chin a little bit, and then like drip, 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 and I was like, okay, maybe I didn't just scratch my chin a little bit, and like I'll touch it, and I touch it, and like the upper part of my chin like moved away from the bottom part of my chin a little bit, like I could feel like my face separated a little, and I was like, okay.
My face is a mess.
I have a big cut under
And
my
he still
chin,
didn't
right?
get
Like,
stitches.
Yeah.
right. Well,
They liquid glued his face together.
We glued it.
I go back to Paige's house. I took my shirt off. I stopped the bleeding,
Awesome.
more or less, like paper
Liquid
towels.
We band-aided
his
it.
Go back to Paige's house, and he used. I let him use animal.
Animal skin glue. So if they get a cut, you can just glue it shut. And it came with this little tiny tube dispenser that you stick on the end of it and squeeze it. It's like a little disposable crazy glue container. And I just squeezed it in the middle of his gash and held it together, and then stuck a fucking Band-Aid on it, held it, and it stayed. And there we have it.
That's nuts.
It looks like it's been stitched.
That's nuts.
Per him. I told him he should get stitches. So
Absolutely crazy.
yeah.
Dude,
Crazy.
Probably should.
no concussion, no broken teeth.
But even if he did have
No
we
bill.
didn't have helmets on, so that's why I was being hesitant to skating. I didn't want to go in the bowl much or anything.
Always wear a
You know,
helmet.
Yeah. We didn't have pads. He had gloves on, but if he had a helmet and pads, this still would have happened. So that's the only solace.
Except Matt says he has a helmet with a chin strap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a chin protector.
That would have helped. Yeah.
They're good to have.
Well,
We know
probably
why
have to
now.
wear one
Yeah.
from now on.
I'm still hurting. I pulled all kinds. I felt weird shit in my abdomen, which is very big compared to many years ago. And I felt like little strings of muscles of pain for the last 2.5 days right here.
Dude, I still wear the same size I did in high school.
Same size what?
That's
Pants.
crazy.
I still have the same waist, exactly the same.
I've gotten down too close to it, but
With 32, always have been.
mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll ever change really. Like 31, 32 every once in a while.
You know what?
What?
I gotta go.
What?
I literally gotta go.
Why do you gotta go?
I gotta go.
No, you can't go.
Yeah.
Why?
So you guys will finish it.
What are you talking
Rapping.
about?
You'll finish rapping about the skatings.
What do you mean?
Because I've gotta go.
Well, why?
Because they don't need to know.
Oh, alright.
He's got things to do. But what we can do is we can just wrap up this episode of skateboarding memory and
All right,
fun,
wait,
and
wait,
we
wait.
can pick it up again.
Before that, What was the gnarliest trick you ever pulled?
My gnarliest trick?
Yeah. That you nailed, like...
It was
gnarliest trick, and then we're done.
My gnarliest trick was probably not... Well, shit. It's been a while since I've thought about it. I've done some really big gaps, and that was neat, but I can't remember...
Big gaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't
like street skating?
Yeah, street skating. But I can't remember exactly a specific incident. What's
the biggest trick that you never quite pulled that you kind of still are kind of bent about?
Well, the one trick I could ollie pretty high, but not as high as some of the
old
really
mill gap.
Old mill gap. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, you do. I remember standing over it with you and Tom and a bunch of other people looking down them, and people did it, and they were fucking crazy because it was a wall. I mean, because the way it was a parking lot, right? And the parking lot came down, and then it stopped. And then it was like a wall to another parking lot that dropped like a story. I mean, thinking now, it probably wasn't really a story.
It was a blind ollie over a steep, like a tall wall.
But you had to clear.
And then a 5-foot drop.
About this much to actually hit that other parking lot because there was like a split between level and this level.
Like a little planter box.
Yeah. But it was a small split. It was easy. All you had to do, and this was flat, so all you had to do was just clear it. But you had to land all that. I mean, it was a long. I can't believe you don't remember it.
Very vaguely.
It was like the craziest gap ever. I was the one I wish I could have landed.
Very vaguely.
Came so close to trying.
But I did a good. It was captured in time, and it was just one of my best ollies that I'd done. Just off of a speed bump.
Oh yeah.
In the high school parking lot.
Dude,
and it
another one that I saw you do.
It got into
it was in the fucking yearbook.
Yeah.
I remember him.
What?
I remember him doing that trick. I was standing in the parking lot when you did that fucking trick.
Yeah.
I had just gone by you in Marcus's car, and you're like, "What's up, dude? What's up,
Me and Tom were out there.
Yeah.
You gotta dig out
skating in the parking lot.
You gotta dig out that yearbook so we can.
But the angle, it makes it look like I was much higher than I think I was.
Yeah.
But it was a good shot. It was really cool.
I fucking remember that day. That is so crazy. Yeah. Dude, we were like. I was a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. I was a senior or a junior. No, I was a senior.
You were a senior because you were 2 years over me in class.
I was class of 93 and
I got stayed
Los
back.
Altos.
They pushed me back. I don't even know what year it was after all.
But that was one of my most poignant, that was cool.
Nice.
You
got to dig out that yearbook and we'll take a picture of it and put it up in the video.
Fuck, I don't even know where they are. I gotta find them.
Dude, that's out there.
So
I might have that.
What
here.
Was yours?
No, I don't have it here.
I don't.
Mine was like my buddy had like a 1.5 foot high jump ramp and like a 5 3/4 foot high kind of narrow quarter pipe. And we set up the jump ramp sort of offset to the quarter pipe, so you're facing the face of both of them, and then
you jump onto it.
It was back from like they didn't start at the same place. The jump ramp started maybe 10 inches before the quarter pipe, and I went off the jump ramp and over the back of the quarter pipe and did like a method like flapped out like that. That high over the top of the quarter pipe at the most. And just boned it as hard as I could and just barely cleared
Boned it.
Wow.
He said boned
and
it.
I nailed it like water. Like I did it every day of my life, and it was the first time I'd ever tried it, and it was insanity. Like it was so huge. Like I'd never ollied that high off that little ramp before, and I'd never boned anything out that hard ever before or since.
Wow. I used to do
really
just
like
good
standing up, like dunk. Okay, that was easy. Like,
I used to do really good acid drops. Like I would dope off whatever to nothing.
And the one thing I never pulled that I always wanted to pull was Homestead High School, the gap from the front parking lot into the apartments.
Oh yeah, totally know that
over
gap.
the barbed wire.
Know that gap. That gap's crazy. It's crazy huge. I know exactly what gap. That's another gap that I wish I could have done.
Like
it was crazy scary. Dude, I'm glad I never tried.
I just remember all the parts of it. I knew I could ollie that far. I knew I could ollie that high.
Woodside High School?
Yes.
Woodside High School?
Dude,
no.
That's
one of them that went really steep
that's
down.
That's where we need to go, boys.
Yes.
That place is still there. That's okay. Woodside High School It starts at the top of this giant hill, right? And their entire hallway.
We'll record it.
Goes boom, 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 boom. Remember? It goes all the way out to a parking lot. It's this crazy, insane thing. Oh my God, we gotta go there. We gotta go there on a Sunday.
So hey, you guys look that up and you guys finish it out.
No, that's gone.
Because I gotta run. I really do.
Let's end it together. Let's all end this.
You think so?
Yeah.
This has been a good little clip, though.
Yeah, it's been a good clip.
So we've talked about a lot.
This is about our little skateboarding thing.
Wait, you know what's hilarious? It's like you're trying to rush out of here and
he's
be
not
all
rushing.
crazy.
He's gotta go.
But you know, if you just chilled for like 4.5 more minutes, we'd be over an hour.
No.
Oh, really?
We don't want to be an hour.
Sorry.
Anyway, so
we want to fight the power.
Skateboarding is rad.
Yeah.
We're all skateboarders.
Skateboarding is definitely not a crime anymore.
I went skateboarding the other day and bashed my chin open, and I bled for this podcast.
Yeah.
You should tell your friends about.
We'll post some videos.
We'll post some videos.
Stupid.
I'm going to start a video series.
Nothing fancy.
I start skateboarding again, and I learn all the tricks again, and I try to get sponsored as like an old man, 45.
Yeah,
and
that's not gonna happen.
And I'm gonna be filming a documentary, watching
how
him
I break my skull,
fail and or die.
Yeah. But if you made it this far watching this stupid video of just our dumbasses
send
talking,
us money.
Then no, don't send us money yet.
Yes, send us money.
Just
don't
subscribe.
Ever listen to him.
Subscribe for updates. And if you have any questions or something that you have an idea that you'd love to hear us talk about, put it in the comments,
please,
and tell us.
And
hit
don't
us up
forget
on Twitter.
Go vote for my man over there in the top corner, Mr. Bernie Sanders.
Burn t-shirt.
Yeah,
BurnTshirt.com.
Burnt
please.
shirt.
Over here, burnt-shirt.com.
Burn t-shirt or burnt shirt.
We got new t-shirts up. Greed Machine is my new company. It's in the works. Come
now,
check
if
it
you
out.
look, that one says,
Greed
where is
Resistant Industrial
That's
clothing.
Bernie Sandwich, no baloney.
Yeah.
You can see that one. And there's a whole bunch of other funny ones. They're great.
You'll love our t-shirts. We're having fun.
Most importantly, hit us up on Twitter at
Why is that more important
Tweet
than
Fail
making
or
money?
Die. Because we're the most important thing on the show. Right? Except for Josie Rose.
I'm just kidding.
So
dude.
this is brought to you by
Damn.
BurnTshirt.com.
And
that way.
Fail or Die.
I can't get the fuck away.
Anyway.
This is brought to you by Breathing Air on Earth.
Yes.
Bye, people.
Stay tuned. Thanks for
leaving.
watching. We love you.
DTF.
What? Okay. I stopped it on what?